Alright, we're live. Oh boy. I gotta say this, like for a state I live in that's supposedly on lockdown, a lot of things are moving. Like, I never heard so many cars moving so quickly. You know, it's crazy to, imagine. I never thought I would live long enough to see everything shut down like this. Just gone. Shut down. And, it bothered me a bit. Like, I tweeted, things when, I think it was on Saturday, I tweeted some things like, calling the governor of Missouri, Parsons, the worst governor I have ever seen in my life, and I'm a Republican saying this about another Republican. And, it's just that before I tweeted it, I seen businesses, restaurants like Denny's in Eureka, begging for customers to come here. And for those who never ate at Denny's, Denny's is not like McDonald's. They don't have a drive-thru. It's a restaurant that you sit down with your family and you eat. It's basically one of those restaurants that don't exist anymore because everybody's about fast food, keep going. Stay in your car and go. Denny's is like, get out of your fucking car and sit at the table and talk to your family. That's basically what it is. And I remember seeing this woman just holding a sign like, please come in, we're open. Please, in the rain. Cars passing by, she's like begging for people to come in. They're open. And it hit me like, it hit me and bothered me in a way because that restaurant used to be my grandma's favorite restaurant. She went there once for breakfast with my parents. And she didn't want breakfast, she wanted a burger. She was like, I don't want a fucking egg, I want a burger. And it was her favorite restaurant. It was a restaurant that she just loved going to because she got to sit down and talk to my dad, my mom, my sisters. I was just a little infant. And it just kind of hit me like, if she was alive, she would go in there like, I want a burger. Like, and I think that's just what, bothered me. It was just like, this restaurant, these people are losing their livelihood because of this paranoia. And I do believe that, the virus is real. I mean, people died from it, sadly and tragically. But the paranoia is what's making it worse. She's in a better place. The paranoia is what's really, really getting people. I mean, now they're pushing for limited amount of people in grocery stores. And for me, like, I remember saying to my dad, like, you know what, I'm going to go for Amazon Prime. I might get packages delivered, it might cost, but you know what? I have had it with fucking stores. And I hate Walmart. I hate Walmart with a passion. Blocking off the fucking entrances, and you have to like walk around a line. It's like, I'm not a fucking sheep or cattle to be told where to go. And you have these stupid... I know they say like social distancing is the mandatory thing to do now. I've been doing social distancing for years. Because I don't like people that much. I am not a people person. I don't look it. I'm not a very nice person. I'm a very sarcastic, condescending person. And I've been keeping my distance from people for years. And, yeah, the same. And the thing about it is, it's like a lot of people who got coronavirus, you know, it's the environment they're in. And, you know, they were saying about New York. We'll get to the comics, and we'll get to Ezra Miller's crazy thing that happened. The thing about it is, New York is, you know, Missouri isn't like New York. Our city isn't like New York. New York is built on top of each other. Like, from an outsider looking in at New York, people are on top of each other. And to be honest, like, New York doesn't look clean. It's the same way with China. China got it because they're polluted. They're very polluted. And New York, for me, like, I look at New York and it's just like, it doesn't look clean. Like, as much as you film movies and whatever there, Gotham's like the closest thing that showed what New York really looks like. And you're like, yeah, they don't look really that clean. And I'm not saying Missouri is, I'm not saying St. Louis is a very clean place. Chicago's a shithole to begin with. I'm just being honest. But, I mean, I'm not saying St. Louis is like the cleanest city in the world. I'll be honest, I don't know what is the cleanest city in the world. I don't think none of us do. Probably Utah. Salt Lake City is probably the cleanest place because it's filled with Mormons. You know how I feel about Mormons. Even though my grandpa fucking loves Mormons. He just loves Mormons. For me, I gotta be honest with you, I don't understand them. I don't want to. And I don't really need to. They follow Joseph Smith, claiming Missouri's Jerusalem. He definitely needed help to begin with. It's just, I'd be honest with you, like, if you don't know what Mormonism is, I'd be honest with you. Check it out. You might find a good laugh. I mean, I have never in my life seen a Mormon church and down the road from it, a Jehovah's Witness temple. I never in my life seen that. And I remember my dad I was riding with my dad. He was picking up his lawnmower from a repair place. And I was like, oh my God, there's a Mormon. There's a Mormon church, the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. And we drove past it. He goes, Jehovah's Witness. Yep, Mormon, Jehovah. Both founded by nut jobs. I'm just like, what? It was just like, it was the funniest damn thing I have ever seen. And they have like the nicest buildings, and right down the church, right down the rest of the street is like this small little Baptist church. And it is just like, the irony is the first two are just like churches about money and having nice things, and the one is just about this small little church that looks like the church out of a Little House on the Prairie. So it's kind of how it is. But anyway, my state's on lockdown. I can't go anywhere. And I don't really like it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I like being home, but I need to go outside sometimes. I mean, I got like masks and face covers and, looking like something out of, Dark Knight Rises. I mean, the sad thing is, like, the only thing you'll see is, like, my stupid eyes. And I look tired half the time, and I'm not, like, I mean, like, one time I took a selfie, and my sister's like, "Are you high?" I'm like, "No." It's like, the only thing you see is, like, my two stupid eyes, like, looking at you, and I look like, Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Oh, yes. I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit or your body. You made a serious mistake. Not as serious as yours, I fear. Bane. Let's not stand on ceremonies here, Mr. Wayne. I'll be honest with you, like, whoever they cast as Bane, they have to do it different. I honestly think that they should cast Dave Bautista as Bane. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, I'd be honest with you, like, if I had to cast Bane for the Robert Pattinson Batman films, I would love to see them go back to the roots of Bane. Back to, like, him being a luchador wrestler. And he beat the toughest people, and Batman's his next target. Like, that's what they should do. Like, what I'm saying is they should get a Latino dude to play Bane. That's what they should do. Like, I mean, I want to see the Bane from, like, The Enemy Within, the Batman, The Enemy Within, onto the big screen. I want to see that version of Bane, like, covered in tattoos, wearing a Mexican luchador mask, has a Latino accent, mustache, beard thing. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see that version of Bane. Like, that version of Bane would be awesome to see. Like, and I think, honestly, Dave Bautista could do it. But, you need a dude who's a bit bigger than Robert Pattinson. Like, you need a dude who can overshadow him in a way. And, I mean, not overshadow him like being 7 feet tall like a basketball player, but you need somebody who's, like, big, jacked, and that's what you need. And the funny thing about it was, in Dark Knight Rises, I know most people are going to look at it differently now when I say this, but Christian Bale was actually taller than Tom Hardy. To the point where they had to, like, The Rock. The Rock would be interesting as Bane, but, I'll be honest with you, you couldn't really take, like, and this isn't a knock at Dwayne Johnson, but you couldn't take him serious as Bane. I mean, there's one dude I honestly think could play Bane, but it'd be kind of difficult. Would be Braun Strowman, the dude from WWE who beat Goldberg at WrestleMania. Spoiler alert for those who didn't watch. I didn't watch. I wish I did. I know Edge beat Randy Orton in a last man standing match, which was pretty cool. Bray Wyatt beat John Cena is what I heard. Braun Strowman would be interesting as Bane, because he not only is like he's a big dude, but he's like tall. Like, he can overshadow people. And the only thing that'd be the problem is he has a long beard. But when you think about it, it could work. I mean, But I mean, you need the story with Bane is like, you know, not only Bane is the toughest, and that's the thing about the Nolan films that really like touched on it a bit, was how intelligent he is. But they also need to touch on a bit of how reckless he can be in a fight. Like he lets. And this thing with Batman lets Bane's anger get to him, where Batman can overmatch him because Bane gets so distracted by the rage and anger in him. And that's what they need to like sort of let go in the film. Like, I mean, not let go, like it's got to be gone, but let it happen in the film. And the thing, and the problem is with, I think, with in the Batman film, The Dark Knight Rises, Bane sort of took advantage of Batman's rage. Like, you know, even making the comment, you fight like an angry young man. So, I hope they do. They need to do another Batman Telltale video game. They need to do season 3. I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens. And they better bring back the writers who wrote the first 2 seasons, because they captured like a really interesting and awesome version of Batman that has never been done. And I love the duality. Like, you play as Bruce Wayne and you play as Batman. For me, it's just like, I'm only Batman. Yeah, so. So anyway, DC Comics has donated $250,000 to support comic book shops in need. Wonder Woman 84 variant covers have been postponed by DC Comics. James Tynion IV shows new work with Gary Frank and Martin Sindums. Scott Snyder talks about death metal, Doomsday Clock, the 5G, what comes next. Scott Snyder, on the new DC Daily Video interview, Scott Snyder was catching up with his family life during the current situation. And also we got a bit of little promotional during the upcoming whenever it may be Dark Knight's death metal. I really enjoyed Dark Knight's metal. I really enjoyed it. And for me, I look forward to death metal. I hope I could go to my comic book shop one day and buy it. I do look forward to it. I dig the new Batman look. Him wearing the trench coat with spikes on the shoulders, and he has a skull bat motorcycle and the Grim Reaper scythe. He looks awesome, and like he looks like a badass character. And I'm just like, where is that Batman at? And I know a lot of people. I haven't seen a lot of people respond to it. Like, it wasn't like how people quickly jumped on the wagon for the Bat Who Laughs. Like, he has to be in every fucking book. And that's the thing about it. Like, that's what kind of got me so tired of the Bat Who Laughs. Is like he has to be in every book now. And give it time, he'll probably be in the next Batman books. But for me, it's just like I really like the Grim Knight character. I wish they did a little bit more with him. Like, I wish they did another book. Maybe I'll do a cover read. Maybe I'll read that book. Yeah. But I love the Grim Knight comic. I think it's really interesting. Like, it's a very different version of Batman, which I really dug. And a lot of people are like, he's just like the Punisher Bat. He's the Punisher. And it's just like, yeah, but here's the thing about it. Like, and this isn't a knock at the Punisher. It's just Batman's smarter than the Punisher. When you're saying like, he's like Punisher, it's kind of an insult because Batman's a lot smarter than the Punisher. He strategizes, and that's what makes him dangerous, is when he strategizes a plan. I'm just being honest. Like, I never was a big fan of the Punisher. The TV show, I watched a few episodes, and for me, like, I really just was never a big Punisher fan. I thought him killing people sort of, and that's the thing about it. Like, a lot of people, like, I mean, if you like a serial killer superhero, whatever, what is that one character? I'm trying to think of that one character. I seen it on Comic Book Man. Let me look it up. Marvel made this character. Fool Killer, I think is his name. Yeah, that's who it is. If you like, a character like that, Fool Killer would be your character. Because he basically, he kills. So, I mean, but it's just, for me, I never understood the Punisher. I just never got the character. So, anyway, let's see. Snyder stated he's been reading Darwin Cook's The New Frontier as inspiration for his post-death metal project, which ties into the idea of creating a big on the classic characters. For those who never read Darwin Cook's New Frontier, it is one of the greatest Justice League stories ever written and done in art. I love that book. I love The New Frontier to death. It is a great classic story. It's a mixture of the Golden Age and the Silver Age told by Darwin Cook, and I have the books, I even have the t-shirt, and I have the comic book box, and I even have the Batman action figure of, Darwin Cook's take. But, I love Darwin Cook's artwork. His version of The Flash, I think, has so much heart, and for me, I wish they, for me, with the Flash character for film, I hope they sort of capture a bit of that Darwin Cook magic into it, which I don't think they would or could. But The New Frontier is such an amazing story. I even have the comic that tied into the film, where it's like filling in the gap. Catwoman's in it, along with Batman, and Catwoman does appear in the New Frontier animated film. Just a cameo, sadly, not a big part of it, which is a crime. But the book, Darwin Cook's New Frontier, is one of the books I highly recommend. I even have the DVD of it, which Darwin Cook did the cover. It was released after he sadly passed away of cancer. And it's one of those. It even has a documentary about his life and his career, and it's amazing. It's an amazing book, and it's cool that Snyder is reading New Frontier for inspiration for his post-death metal project, which ties into creating a bigger new take on the classic characters. Snyder revealed that the Justice Society of America in his recent Justice League run. I have not got to read his run on Justice League. Maybe I should catch up. See what he's been doing with it. He did seem to have unfinished business with them. The assumption is that they may be returning along with everyone else. And death metal, especially he gave them with Brian Hitch and the Wonder Woman 750. I'm trying to get to what his 5G thing is. I guess that was it. Let's see. Snyder did talk about what death metal means to him. Alright, here we go. Now, Everything Matters, the slogan Bleeding Cool was part of the talking about the new DC timeline. The New 52 expanded across a new century of continuity, beginning with World War II. The fourth generation intended to set up the 5G or Generation 5, which would have place in main books with new characters. This was before instigator and DC Comics publisher Dan Didio was fired. Everything's changed. So, what does this mean for Generation 5 and the 5 books planned to start in May? They are still happening, but their purposes have been changed. Scott Snyder says, Generation is more of a recounting of the DC history right now, rather than being the big catalyst for things. The reconnecting of continuity is making it all one big story is our job. Via death metal, we've been honored and humbled, excited and terrified to be doing it. It sounds like the way he's saying it is they're restructuring their history. They're redoing their history of the reconnecting to continuity and making it all one big story. Do I think they're going to change up the heroes? I don't really know. I don't really think they could or should, because the characters are fine the way they are. You just need to evolve them a bit. You need to add layers to them that I've been saying for a while. Like, Batman needs new layers instead of being stuck in the same, I don't want to sound like a jerk by saying this, but same dreadful storytelling. And this whole like designer and this punchline is just dreadful characters. Designer looks like a Freddie Mercury alter ego. Punchline just looks like an Asian Harley Quinn cosplayer. I'll just be honest with you. Speaking of Harley Quinn, season 2 episode 1 came out. I watched it. My nephew got to see part of it. He wasn't interested in it. Sorry, my voice just sounds like, crap. I woke up, mind you, and I do sleep with a fan, so... my nephew... I watched it on my phone. My nephew was, watching these... My youngest nephew came by the weekend, and it was before the shutdown, and I'll be honest with you folks, I have never seen strange and weird YouTube content before in my life. I've seen video game channels that I cannot unsee. And I am not being racist by saying this. I watched a channel on YouTube with my youngest nephew involving a talking cartoon panda and three Asian family members. A father, a mother, and a son. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what video games they're playing. And I don't know why they have to be loud. I have seen the loudest animated cartoon panda in history now. And I don't know what video game they're playing. I really don't. 1 minute it's Mario and Sonic, because apparently Sonic is now in the Nintendo games. And they're playing Olympic sports. And the next minute they're playing some weird Minecraft type game that isn't Minecraft. It's like some blocks characters. I don't know what they are. And the next minute it's this one dude stuck in a school with this bald character chasing him. I don't know what my nephew watches. Now, here's the thing. I have nothing against watching people play video games. I just don't watch people who play Batman Arkham video games or Batman Telltale, because why would I watch them play it? I could play it myself. And I watch New Legacy Inc., which is pretty hilarious. I watch it basically for the glitches, the glitch videos, which are hilarious. And WWE 2K20 was a walking meme. I can't wait for 2K21. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. So, I watch these channels. I don't know how to react. So I watched Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn was a phenomenal. Episode 1 of season 2 picks up after season 1 finale. There's going to be spoilers. So Gotham is destroyed. Joker's gone, presumed dead. Batman is gone, disappeared. And it leaves Gordon wondering where his best friend is. And I love Jim Gordon in this one. I wish Jim Gordon would be like that in the movie. So the villains get angry. The villains get at Harley. They're trying to fight over the turf of the mall, where Harley her crew, Clayface, Killer Shark, King Shark, or Killer Shark, I forget. Dr. Psycho, the old man in the chair. I'm going to call him Old Man. I don't know his name. I forget. He brings up Vietnam twice. And Ivy. And one person that was missing is Kite Man. And going through the Twitter of it, like reading people's thoughts of it, they were happy that Kite Man wasn't in it. A lot of the Ivy Harley fans who want Harley and Ivy to be together and be in love. Here's the thing about it. That type of stuff will kill the show. Once you put the main character in a relationship, you're going to kill the show. That's basically the death nail of the show. For those who don't know. And a lot of them are basically teenage girls going like, Harley needs to be in love with Ivy, and Ivy needs to be in love with Harley. It's just like, fuck off. No one doesn't want them together. They're basically like sisters. Watch the show Sister Sister. I know. I had to sit through that shit. So, for those who don't know, putting a main character in a relationship with somebody in a show is the death nail. Look at how I Met Your Mother when they put Robin with Barney. The stupidest shit ever done in the history of television. They topped it. And the way it ended was stupid as fuck. Having Ted and her back together, Ted and Robin, that was like the stupidest fucking shit I've ever seen. I watched that, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, really? I mean, I watched it, I watched it after Rules of Engagement, which I love that show, Rules of Engagement. Before they added the Indian dude, I was just like, I'm done. I'm sorry, like, I know a lot of people love the Indian dude, but it's just like, once they added him to the show, it ruined the dynamic. It's like, why does David Spade need a sidekick? He doesn't need one. It's like, you know, he aggravates Patrick Warburton. Let him just do that. So, you know, it's just kind of how it is. Like, I just sat there and just, you know. But I love the Ivy Kite Man relationship. Because they're opposites. That's what makes it work. Like, Ivy is supposed to be this serious person. I assume she's a person. I'm sorry, I'll just say plant person. And Kite Man's more like this laid back dude, like whatever. I'm Kite Man, hell yeah. Type of guy. And the relationship between Ivy and Harley is just, it's stupid. It's stupid on the point of they're supposed to be a couple. No one does not. You know how generic and dumb it is nowadays when you put a serious person with a kooky, crazy person? It's stupid. It's dumb. It doesn't work anymore. Harley Quinn is like her own entity. And Harley should be this person that just, should be on her own, finding herself, finding her own identity. It's like, you put her out of a relationship with Joker. Why do you want to put her back into that box again? Back into the box of being in a relationship. Why don't you just let the character be out of the box of a relationship and just let her mold and find her own entity and identity? Like, and for those who are like, I care about Harley and Harley should be with Ivy, it's just like, no, it's like, if you care enough about Harley, let Harley be on her own. Let her be on her own and do her own thing. And the relationship between Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman is like they're three sisters. They're like three individuals who can relate to each other because they've been in the same situations and stuff. And and I love the Harley Quinn issues where Catwoman showed up and they were like in this like Game of Thrones thing when Catwoman's like the queen. Like I love those issues. Like that was funny as hell to read, and they were so much fun, like to read and stuff. And I thought it was so cool. Like, and Catwoman's given like this serious, dramatic lines, and Harley's just standing like, it's so beautiful, and she has like tears in her eyes. Like I love that. That was funny and entertaining and fun to read. But I look forward to seeing Catwoman in the Harley Quinn show, and I look forward to seeing her in the show. The same with Barbara Gordon, who I think is going to be in the next episode. And I can't wait to see Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. Like, I love Batgirl. She's one of my favorite characters. Basically, the entire Bat family is my favorite characters. And I hope they have her in Titans. I don't want to... there's so many things I want to see done with Batgirl. Like, in a way, like, I think they should have had her in the Birds of Prey movie. But they ruined Cassandra Cain. Like, it's hard to believe the character that is supposed to be Bane's daughter is taken from this badass character to a chubby Asian girl who's a pickpocketer and is annoying. It's like, how the fuck did you ruin that character? But Barbara Gordon, there's so many things you can do with her in comics. Not just in comics, but in film now. And they missed the boat several times with the character on film. They made her British, but they cast an American actress. Like, I remember sitting there. I need to rewatch Batman and Robin once. I can't sit through it. I can't. Like, if I had to choose between Wonder Woman film or Batman and Robin, I have to sit through Wonder Woman, because Batman and Robin just makes me so angry when I sit there. It reminds me of watching the St. Louis Rams in their losing season. Like, I remember I got so mad I threw a soda can at the TV because I was just like, and I remember yelling like, stop running the ball, because they literally would run the ball every time. They won't pass it. They keep running it. They keep giving the fucking ball to Steven Jackson. And this is back in the day. And they gave up their best running back ever. Dumbasses. The LA Rams. And they kept running the ball. They wouldn't pass it. Batman and Robin was just that. It was like a walking disaster. It's like, once you mess with my favorite Batman Rogues Gallery member, Mr. Freeze, you immediately have hell raining down on you. Like, you cast Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. But in this one, Harley Quinn TV show, they got Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, doing the voice of Mr. Freeze. At that moment, I'm just like, you have my full attention now. Because Alfred Molina is like one of the best actors. Very underrated. Whoever is going to play Doc Ock in future Spider-Man films, God be with them. Because Alfred Molina owned that character. He owned that character, man. It's hardly back when Cameron was going to do Spider-Man, Schwarzenegger was going to play Doc Ock. It was like, no, dude, no. Shockmaster, most likely. He could play Shockmaster, Schwarzenegger in his prime. But Alfred Molina owned that character, Doc Ock. He made you sympathize with him. You made him feel like you felt bad for him. It's like a guy who lost his technology, creating technology, losing his wife, arms attached to him. The man just like lost his mind, and you're like, there's still hope for this guy, and it's just like, and this guy just threw it all away. So you sympathize with him in a way, like but him playing Mr. Freeze, man, he they didn't overdo it. They didn't like over cartoony the character, if you know what I mean. Like they didn't. He's a man of a few words at times, and just like the way they wrote him is like one look by this character, you're like, he means business. And like that's what did it. That's what made it cool. And Bane, of course, returned. One of my favorites. The first season. Like he returns beating up an espresso coffee machine. But yeah, there was like so many cool moments in it. There's a bit of an Arkham City reference where they show Harley the map of splitting up the cities in different turfs. Like one turf belongs to Penguin, one turf belongs to Two-Face, one turf belongs to Harley, Riddler, Bane, Freeze, which is kind of funny in a way because Mr. Freeze has, in Arkham City, had his own turf, which made it cool. Like, if you kind of remember, like, his turf was like in between Two-Face and Joker's, if I remember correctly. And neither one of them fucked with his turf. Like, he had his one building, and neither one of them messed with it. Which I thought was really cool until, like, Joker steals Freeze's wife and the medication he made for Batman and Joker, that stopped the toxins killing Joker and affecting Batman. And like a lot of it's kind of funny though, because like Penguin, you think would fuck with Freeze's turf, he didn't. Which I thought was pretty cool, but But anyway, Harley, of course, says no, and Freeze shoots her with the freeze gun. It was kind of funny though how Freeze just did it. He's just like, fuck this. He just I don't mean to laugh because I know a lot of people love Harley, but Freeze is just a dude who just like, fuck this shit. He ends up firing the gun at her, and the villains give like this monologue, villainy monologue. Bane's was funny because all you hear is that's all you hear. That's all you hear is Bane doing that. And I'm just sitting there like laughing. Like hearing this, because it's just like and it was just like, it's the most hilarious thing ever. And next thing you know is just like they're all laughing, and Bane is like So, Penguin in this one kind of against Gordon has like the rough one. Gordon in this one is hilarious. Even though, yeah, like, Gordon's hilarious. Damian Wayne returns, and I was just like, yes, Damian Wayne, who, in my opinion, had the best episode of the first season of Harley, in my opinion. Despite my favorite moment of the show of all time in the first season is Bane and Joker having a conversation on the phone. Damian Wayne, spoiler alert, shows up as Batman. Mini Batman. They need to, like, if they're going to start making action figures for Harley, I would buy them. If they make one of, like, Damian Wayne in the bat suit as Mini Batman, I would buy it. He looked adorable. He looked adorable as Batman. He wears his mini bat suit, and I thought it was just funny, adorable, and he basically says he's picking up the mantle because Batman's missing, and he's picking up the mantle, and it's just like, well, Nightwing. It's just but he picks up the mantle of Batman. And you just sit there and you're watching this and you're like, one, it's adorable, funny, and somehow, if I remember correctly, Robin sends him a text message, and he can't get a hold of him. He's missing, and Gordon's like, "Oh my God! Like, can I have his contact info?" Because Gordon needs a friend, and of course, and Robin's like, "I had to pick up the man because I'm Batman." It is funny how he says it. Because that little voice, that young voice, is trying to be gruff and tough as, I'm Batman. And it kind of has that Christian Bale, like, Batman sound to it. And you can't help but, like, laugh at it. Like, and Gordon, of course, throws a bottle at him, and, the rest is history on that one. Ivy and Shark, Clayface, the old man in the chair, Dr. Psycho, breaks Harley out. Oh, I forgot to mention Bud and Lou, the hyenas, make an appearance in the beginning of the show. I forgot to mention that one. I know somebody's going to be like, what about Bud and Lou? They make an appearance. They break Harley out. Harley gets her revenge on Penguin, biting his nose off, then stabbing him with a broken bat. She stabs him. That part I was just like, I was like shocked, like she just killed Penguin. And it shocks me in a way because it's just like, one, you're killing off an important character. I mean, I wouldn't say an important character, but an important character to Batman mythos. And I'm just like, it's going to be that kind of season? Because, like, it bothers me in several ways. One, I don't want to, like, Riddler, Riddler, who gives a shit? It bothers me in a way because it's just like, one, I don't want to see Harley go down that path of like killing everybody. It's like Deadpool kills the Marvel, or Punisher kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, both stupid. Especially the Punisher one. The Punisher one was the stupidest fucking book ever. I know a lot of people are like, man, you hate the Punisher. But when you read Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, it is the stupidest fucking book ever. Completely stupid. You know, it's dumb. You know, but Harley going after, you know, killing Riddler, Bane, Freeze. She better not kill Freeze. If she tries to kill Freeze, I will fucking lose it. Like, you leave that dude alone. There hasn't been a good movie with Freeze in it. Okay? Leave him alone. I would. I would cancel my subscription to DC Universe if they kill Freeze. You know. I would be so mad if they did that. I would sound like Cartman from South Park. You know, going like, you know. That's what I would sound like. If they did that to Freeze. It's just like Freeze is such a good character. But anyway, Harley screams that she will get her revenge. That's what I would sound like. That's what I would sound like. I would sound like that. Like, why would you do that? Especially got Alfred Molina doing the voice of Freeze, man. Like, but one person I would want to see play Freeze in Batman would be Michael Fassbender. Like, he did a great job with Magneto. He was basically the only good part of X-Men prequel films. Fassbender, I would want to see play Freeze. I think he could do it. I think he could get the job done with that one. I would say Ben Kingsley, but Ben Kingsley, I'm surprised they didn't get to play Alfred in Batman. Like, I like the dude who's playing Alfred because it's Gollum. But Ben Kingsley would be great as Alfred. Derek Jacobi would be. If there was like one person that should play Alfred in Titans, it should be Derek Jacobi. I'm just saying. But Ben Kingsley, I'm surprised they didn't get, because he would have been great as Alfred. He would have been, you know, the thing about Alfred when it comes to comics and film, and I hope, you know, De La Cruz, who wrote Gotham High, would listen. Alfred's meaning and purpose isn't built on his race, his sexuality. He's basically created to be this emotional father figure support for Bruce. He's the moral compass for Bruce. He is that father figure. He isn't the uncle. He's the father figure. And he is there to comfort Bruce through the dark times, letting him know you're not alone. You know, that's who Alfred is. Alfred is this emotional father, grandfather to the Bat family. He's the grandfather to the Bat family and the father figure to Bruce. And, of course, De La Cruz totally looked past passed and dropped the ball. She didn't drop the ball. She just passed the ball, like whatever type of thing. And that's who Alfred is. Alfred is this father figure emotional support system. And that's the thing I hope they get in the Batman Batman movie. I know through like Reddit links, Reddit posts and leaks, that Alfred's supposed to be like this brother to Bruce, this bickering brother, and it's just like no. Like, like look at Michael Caine. Like that moment in Dark Knight Rises where he gets emotional telling Bruce, I do not want to bury another member of this family. Where he's basically telling Bruce, I don't want to bury another member of my family. Like that moment, was so emotional. And that part where Alfred breaks down crying, telling Thomas and Martha Wayne that he failed them. That part, it was just like, that hit me. Like, that was the moment where it was just like, oh man, like they're gonna end it with that. And of course they see each other at the restaurant where Alfred told him about his dream of wanting to see Bruce, married, have kids. That was a good ending, though. That was a way to end a trilogy. But that's the Alfred I hope to see in the show. I mean, I would love to see the sarcastic side, the jokey, the side of Alfred who has a sense of humor. But you need that character who has that emotional support. But anyway, let's get to the final story, man, before we wrap up. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller. I woke up, I was on Twitter. I was like, somebody tweeted about Vader in WWE. WrestleMania. They were talking about WrestleMania, and somebody, Mustafa Ali, now known in WWE, posted about Vader, posted a photo of Vader where I wrote, like, Vader should be in the WWE Hall of Fame, and he should have went in when he was alive to be appreciated for the things that he did, for what he did in wrestling and stuff. But when I got to the search part, Ezra Miller came up on trending. And there's a phone ringing. It's not my phone. I don't know whose phone it is. Ezra Miller came up where he is accused of choking somebody. And everybody got mad. A recent video came out of Ezra Miller choking a fan. Now, do I think that he choked the fan purposely? I don't know. But here's what the person wrote on Twitter, what it was about. Okay, this is the person who posted it. Okay, I'm exposing Ezra Miller because that he just attacked my friend at a bar. After she jokingly challenged him into a fight, he took it seriously and started and chokeslammed her to the ground. Not okay. Here's the details of it. Alright, this is awkward. Why is he grabbing her by the throat, taking her to the ground? She was playfully fighting while the actor was in Iceland. Why is he wearing sandals in his, that's basically. And here's the thing. Alright. Here's one person wrote, well, he's friends with some of my friends, and when here in Iceland, he is always such a dick to everybody. I don't even know who he was when I met him. He was very arrogant and almost insult that I didn't know him. Later, my boyfriend and some of my friends showed him a music video they made, and he liked it. So my boyfriend said, could he make a video or some art with something with him? He said, no, I'm going to take the concept and make it my own. I have followers, you don't. After I shared, a bunch of other Icelanders told me their interaction with him, they all equally bad, like being rude to a host at a party, refusing to leave after the party earlier in morning stuff. He also was screaming at the staff. So it's basically here's the one thing I can agree with this person here. One person, I'm pretty sure he's not serious. He was jokingly chokeslammed her to the ground as in a prank. I do agree with that. I don't think, I watched the video. I don't think he did it seriously. I watched the video, and here's the thing about it. The video cuts off quickly. They cut off quickly from when he when he slams her to when he supposedly, I'm going to use air quote, slams her to the ground. Because when you watch it, he has his hand on her shoulder, alright, I'm going to gently put you down. I'm not going to choke slam you like Kane from WWE. And the people who did this, I don't see any proof or evidence of it. It's just hearsay. So, do I think Ezra Miller did it purposely, to hurt the woman? No. The only reason they're going after this guy is because he really doesn't have social media. He doesn't really socially interact with people on social media. So, and a lot of people kind of hated him when he got cast as the Flash in the movie. But honestly, I don't think that Ezra Miller try to hurt anybody. I don't know the dude. Never met him. So for me, I think so here's the Daily Mail article. Ezra Miller appears to throttle a fan after she asks if she wants to fight while pulling her to the ground in an alarming video. It's not known if the video was meant to be playful or at least planned altogether or more sinister. The Flash star Ezra Miller appears to throttle a fan in a new video, ask if she wants to fight before pulling her to the ground. In an alarming video, the actor, 27, walks over to the waiting fan, who appears to be in a playful fighting motion, then comes towards her and places his hand on her neck. She smiles, has a smile on her face at first, but when it seems to be taken aback when they say, "Who are you? Do you want to fight? You want to fight?" Pulling her to the ground, she looks horrified as the friend taking the video is like, "Whoa, bro," At the point, filming stops and not clear what happens next. It's not known if the video was meant to be playful, or at least planned, or altogether more sinister. Daily Mail sorry. Damn, my phone just fucking ringed. I'll be right back. Scared the shit out of me. Alright, I'm back. Just had to hear about stupid shit. My doctor appointment got rescheduled. Again. So... I'll be honest with you, like, looking at the... When I look at the photos and stuff, I honestly think that Ezra Miller did it as a joke. Because he has that weird sense of humor. The weird behavior and stuff. You know, I don't think he... But anyway, a lot of people have been on the attack of Ezra Miller for it, including Diego Tinko, who played Cesar Diaz in the teen drama On My Block. Don't know what that show is, never heard of it. Wrote, "Damn, insanely inhuman to disrespect and harm a fan like that. Don't know the whole backstory, but I don't think I have to." You're basic. That's the type of comment that you immediately don't want to hear both sides. Hear both sides of it. You basically want to hear one side and accuse the other. I honestly, like, looking at the video, it looked more like a playful joke, in my opinion. I don't think Ezra Miller meant to do it as harming somebody. I think he mainly did it as a joke. I honestly think that. I'm not, defending him, I mean, I'm not, I'll defend him, because it's just like, people immediately jump on the wagon of like, it was this, and this, and he did this, and he's guilty of it. So, and some people are going to be like, Warner Brothers needs to recast. He did this horrible thing to somebody. And it's like, no. He didn't Amber Heard it. Or try to kill somebody. He just, So, anyway, I want to get to one story to make up for I had to, reschedule a doctor's appointment. Again, this is the second time. And it's mainly due to this whole COVID-19 type thing. I mean, I don't have corona. It's just basically they closed. Basically due to the COVID thing. So, let's see what's on the Phantoms and Monsters thing. Here's something. Invisible cloaking entity in invisible cloaking entity in a Mexico park. Huh. A resident in a Mexico resident video records an invisible cloaking entity at his son's baseball game. A UFO investigator, Terrence Milino investigates a case after a videotape sent to him involved appears to be an invisible entity which was filmed at a park in a city. On the evening of November 10th, 2014, Eduardo Martinez was at his son's baseball game. His friend Isabel Cardino, also in the stands, was filming on his cell phone. A fairly standard evening with nothing out of the ordinary occurring later after arriving home. While looking at the video his friend recorded, Martinez and Cardino was shocked to see a strange figure standing in the field that was actually Martinez's wife that was the first to spot it. Strangely, none of them recalls seeing this odd figure during the game, but was clearly visible in the recording. Given that he was giving the flashes of light, he would have been definitely noticeable. The whole thing was very strange. This is when Martinez sent his video to Mexico UFO investigator Milino. Milino attempted to figure out what was going on in the video. He discovered that the children that night sensed a presence and could not see it, invisible to the human eye. Upon examining the video, the figure appears to be wearing a cloak, like, the invisible cloak in Harry Potter. It seemed like to be flashing and giving a bleep of light. It moved around the field unnoticed for the most part. A boy on third base seemed to realize that something is there. Turns around two occasions towards the being, and it is standing, then walks. You can clearly see the boy definitely realized something was there. It appears to shine and flash about the same height as the kids. It is really interesting. So, for me, I think it's really interesting and weird. So, anyway, well, I'm going to be wrapping up the podcast. I got other things I need to get done around here. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow morning doing another episode. We'll pick up reading from The Dark Knight Strikes Again. I haven't read that book in a while. I ended up quitting reading it, doing the narrations and stuff, because I got annoyed with the book. Anyway, I did order one book. I'm still waiting. Hopefully they ship the book to me soon, because I really want to read it. It's the one book I ordered is Batman Tales Once Upon a Crime. I need that book. I need to read it. The Batman Hush t-shirt, which is supposedly going to be here the 13th. And the Batman gloves for my Batman costume, which is also supposed to be here the 13th of April. For me, I can't wait to see those items, because, but the book I can't wait to read. I can't wait to read it. I like the Batman Little Gotham. I thought it was, one of the great books by DC. And I can't wait to read the Tales Once Upon a Crime. So, yeah. Anyway, my final thoughts are really is just that I think the Ezra Miller thing is just blown out of proportion. I think somebody just... It looked like it was a prank. The woman... I think it was just one of those pranks that Ezra Miller does. I think somebody found the video and just... That person who found it probably just didn't like him and decided to create like this crazy-ass backstory of like he's an asshole, to people and that and this. But for me, I don't think Ezra Miller did it to harm somebody. I think that he did it as a prank. And a lot of the people who come up with all these things that says that he is this and this and this, he's a jerk, all that, is basically people who like the Grant Gustin Flash TV show, and they just don't like Ezra Miller playing the Flash on a big screen. And I think honestly, Ezra Miller does some of the most awkward things in public, and I think that they just caught a video of him being awkward in public, and whammo. It's also the same type of people that, accused Christian Bale, attacking Christian Bale because he got into a dispute with his sister and mom. And people claim that he physically assaulted them, but, he didn't. I think that people took the video. It's kind of weird, though, because the video came out during this whole pandemic thing, and everybody's supposed to be keeping their social distance and stuff, and Ezra Miller, to me, looks like the kind of person that would keep his social distance from people. I think he just... It's kind of weird, though, how the video came out now, during this whole pandemic, where everybody's in lockdown and there's social distancing. I think that's kind of awkward and weird now, that the video just somehow popped up during this type of thing. So, for me, I think that's what it is. I think it's just something to get people's attention on something and keep them distracted for a short while from something else. So, anyway, tomorrow we're going to start reading the Dark Knight Strikes Again book. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. You were amazing. Thank you, love. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. So anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Keep your social distance. And for God's sakes, don't get choked out by Ezra Miller. So anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow.